it's been very difficult because to take off work, to be able to view places, that means that my schedule is quite often interrupted at work. And then we go to view a house, and quite often the houses are really substandard. Although there are a few nice houses, there's usually about 40 some people at any one viewing, and we're one of too many applicants for one house, and so we quite often have to wait to hear a response, and so far it's been unsuccessful, all the places that we have applied for. We've been looking very actively for 5 weeks now, and we've been living in Airbnbs, temporary accommodation, which is now our 4th Airbnb. Because of the nature of Airbnbs, they do book up, and each time we want to renew, they're booked and we have to move on. So rent, I would like to pay around $460, $480 is what I'm finding in the region of a 3-bedroom house suitable for me and my 2 teenagers. And that is probably about the range of a decent house here in Hamilton. And the Airbnbs are on average per week about $650 up to about $800, depending on which Airbnb we happen to find that is available per week.
So on average about $85 a day. But the houses, we haven't been able to look at anything below price of $460, because below that the quality is so bad they're really not livable anymore.
We were fortunate to get one Airbnb that was, we had our own little apartment. It was very small, and we still had my son had to sleep in the lounge, but in the last few Airbnbs, we've been in one small room, all 3 of us, and we have a shared house with lots of other people.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sharing a bed with Mum, and my brother's in the same room.
Sleeping next to my son.
It's not ideal. It's been really bad. I just keep saying I want a house so I can get my life in order, because I can't get a job yet, because I'm hoping to get one around where I'm living. I can't get a gym membership. I'm finding it hard to keep on top of my homework and meet up with friends, because we're now living in constantly new places every week pretty much. It's been bad. It's been quite stressful.
And she's sharing the search with me because I can't do it all on my own.
And just not knowing each week where we're going to live with our Airbnb running out, and not knowing which house we're going to get, and it's just complete uncertainty.
Yeah, there has been quite a lot of anxiety.
It's very unsettling.
Yeah, very. Well, I'm a systemic person, so I see the bigger systems problem with it all. I see how the UN report actually outlined it very clearly that from around the 80s, the government decided, to do a whole bunch of different policies around housing as a commodity rather than housing as a human right. And so all sorts of things like no capital gains tax, and not regulating who buys houses, whether they're in the country or not and living here or not. And in terms of rent increasing astronomically over the cost of living. So I see how systemically it's been allowed to actually get to this point, and that we could have done something differently long ago. And so that's actually more what frustrates me than anything, is that we could have actually done something more about it if people had just seen housing as a human right, as it should be, just like water and air and education. So much effort is put into education, and yet what about housing? We cannot even have an education unless we have a stable house.